Welcome to part 3 of going through how to write about big ideas and themes in Malala and Pride. So, I've chosen the contention. This is the contention, and I'm going to now show you how to break it down into body paragraphs. So, you've got a contention. Both texts explore how ordinary people fight to make themselves heard by those in power. Okay, that's my contention that I'm going to argue all the way through this response. So, but how do I actually do that? So, that's where we get into this thing here, which is the cause-response-consequence model. Now, I've mentioned this before. You don't have to use it. So you can use this thing where you talk about each text in a separate paragraph. But this is a nice way of actually talking about the texts because you're talking about the beginning, middle, and end. So it's really you're talking about a linear approach. A linear approach meaning beginning, middle, and end of a text. But honestly, it's not just about the linear thing. It's also about how you can talk about how a text develops ideas all the way through. So that's why the cause, response, consequence model of writing about text in a comparative essay can work. So, I'll give you an example. The cause, we're talking about you're identifying and exploring the forces that have created the circumstance, social division, barriers or trauma that is the focus of the topic and explored in both texts. So have a think about that. The cause in Malala is the Taliban and the really conservative people trying to stop education for girls. And the cause and the problem in Pride is the mines closing down, but also the kind of the barriers faced by the LGSM to actually even support the miners. So that's the cause. So you write about that. You compare the cause in both, and then how that kind of you write about. You wouldn't necessarily explain the give a plot description of the cause. What you do is you talk about how the cause they compare to each other, and how you're writing about the effect of that cause, of the written way the cause is written about. The second body paragraph, you're dealing with the response. So what's the response to the cause? So how has Malala Yousafzai responded? And so you talk about how she works to get her voice heard, and how she uses her voice in the BBC. All those things that happened, how her voice grows in the community. So that's the response to the cause. And then you got the response in Pride, where it's talking about Mark working with the community and helping them kind of understand how to get around the police. But also the response is all about how do they respond to try to build solidarity. And so that's what you're looking at is the response to problems. Think about this one in Pride. The cause is the homophobia. So we're talking about the homophobia of the newspaper. The response is the way Mark organises the Pits and Perverts ball. So that's how you have cause and response. So the response is the second thing. It's the response of characters to a problem. And then the third one, the consequence. So what is the ultimate meaning of everything? What are the consequences? What's the ramifications of everything? So the consequence meaning that what ultimately happens. So what is the message that the composer wants to leave with us? So for example, Malala wants to leave with us that you can do it. You've just got to remain true to yourself and remain committed to your cause. And you can do this. You can be a voice. Speak, and that's what she says. And the consequence of that is that she's heard over the Taliban. And then you've got the consequence of Pride is the lovely community that is built between the miners and the gay community. And also the fact that you have the National Union of Miners actually changing their approach and their attitude towards gay people, which helps them actually, gay people get a voice, at least with the Labor Party, and that's what it says in the last few frames. So that's a consequence. So have a think about what's the ultimate point in the end, what's the meaning? So you have 3 body paragraphs, first on cause, second on response, third on consequence. That means that you're focusing on those elements, and then you can look at how you can have your contention all the way through. So that's what the cause, response, consequence model does. It gives you a framework and a structure. So the next thing we have here, this is how it works in body paragraphs. So we have the contention here. Both texts explore. Now I've actually highlighted here in bold what the cause is. So it's the fight. The cause is the fight for something. So both texts explore how ordinary people fight to make themselves heard by those in power. So I'm actually, in this paragraph, I would talk about the cause as being the fight for respect to whatever. So let's look at this. So what I'll be arguing in this body paragraph is, in I Am Malala, youth society is fighting on two fronts: against the Taliban, who act to weaponise the existing oppression towards women that is embedded in the conservative Pashtun culture. In Pride, Watchers has the LGSM also fighting on two fronts. They wanted to help miners in their battle against the Thatcher government and its move to shut down coal mines. To obtain the ability to fight on that front, however, they also needed to fight against conservative attitudes amongst the mining community. So that's the cause that they have to fight. Now that's how I would open the paragraph, and then I would talk about the detail of those things throughout the paragraph. I'd use examples to support that now if we use the quotes that are in this document. So I would then go, so I'll go back here. Now, what I'm also showing you here is an integrated approach. Now, before I've shown you the block approach, which is good as a starting point, but one thing I'm going to be looking at telling you about is the whole integrated approach. This is kind of an example of that. So opening the paragraph with this. So have a think about this. This is a connection between the two. Now, what you also need to do later on, I'm not going to show you that because I'm really focusing on how you formulate your argument, but you could do a contrast between the two. What are some of the differences in the way they're represented? So you could be looking at the fighting in Pride is far lower stakes. It doesn't involve death and murder and that kind of thing, unlike in Malala. So you can actually talk about those sorts of things, contrasts. And there's also more sophisticated contrasts. That's a pretty obvious contrast, but there's actually more sophisticated contrasts between the two texts and the way they explore this idea. But the thing is here is that this is how you can go from the contention to thinking about, okay, so what's the cause? What am I writing about in my first body of paragraph? I'm writing about the cause, which is a fight against oppressive forces. And then that's in Malala, and that's it in Pride. And you'll see that I've highlighted here. Now, I wouldn't necessarily repeat the word fighting all the time, but I wanted to do this to show you that's how I am connecting it to my contention. So that's how you could start thinking about writing the cause paragraph. Now, the response paragraph is about then how have these people responded to the problems or the cause or the fights. Both texts explore how ordinary people fight to make themselves heard. I've decided that make themselves heard is what I want to focus on in my second body paragraph. I want to focus on that part of the contention that I'm arguing. So, comparing task responses and how they are represented. In the response argument, you discuss how the people made themselves heard. So in this one, I would argue, in I Am Malala, Yousafzai's voice is heard through the way she presents the dimensions of her fight in the BBC blog. British BBC blog. Her innocence and age helps to make that voice amplified. And so that's what I'm going to argue throughout that paragraph. In Pride, the voice of the LGSM becomes amplified in a more ironic fashion through a discriminatory coverage in a tabloid newspaper, British newspaper. You see I've got a comparison there. That directs more media attention to the work of the LGSM. And then I'll be arguing that throughout with my evidence. So you'll see there that I've seen the similarities. I've got that comparison going on in the opening of my paragraph. Again, it's a response. So the first one is the cause. What are they arguing or fighting for? This is what's the response? What's the next step? How have they responded? And what are the composers saying about that response? And then you compare and contrast that. Okay. So the third body paragraph is the consequences. What's the result? So I've got here the contention. I'm going to continue that bolding because it's still part of that, but really if I actually unbold that, it might make it slightly less confusing, because what I'm really arguing here is the ultimate result of the fight and the response. In the consequence argument, you'll be discussing the final consequences or messages of the response to the cause. What's the ultimate message of the text. So in this one, in I, Malala, Yousafzai I gains more power by being heard by a wide audience through being an ordinary innocent girl who was almost murdered by a more powerful body, leading to her message being heard by a world audience. In Pride, watchers suggest that LGSM gain more power and for the LGBT community through gaining the solidarity and respect of the mining community, leading them to being heard by the National Union of Miners. Now, what I've done there is I've talked about the ultimate consequences of the action. So hopefully you'll see a connection between this, where I've said, what's the problem? The response was to make their voice more heard. And the third one, they did. They did actually get themselves heard by those in power by fighting, by using voice, and then that's the result. That's the consequence of what they've been doing. So hopefully you can see now your body paragraphs, cause, response, consequence. So you could actually write that sort of argument as your consequence. So ultimately also you've got their conclusion. In the conclusion, I'll go back here. Both texts explore how ordinary people, that's the contention. And I'm saying here, I, Malala, the presented life of Malala Yousafzai, provides an example of how a voice can be heard. That's what my contention is. If someone is consistent in their message, identity, and have respect for others, and remain resilient in their resolve. In fact, I probably would have talked about that in the evidence analysis. There is a similar case being made by watchers in Pride, where the consistency of the LGSM message, their identity and respect for others leads to their voice to be heard by a previously closed-minded section of their community. So again, it shows you what's the result of all this. And then I'll go, of course, I'm talking about the ordinary people fight to make themselves heard, and then I talk about ultimately that's what the messages are of the texts. And that's my conclusion. And so that's how I would actually use the cause, response, consequence model to answer a response and to that particular contention. So the last thing I'd like to say on this document that I'm actually sharing with you is that here's some more cause comparative body paragraph sentences, I should say. There's some cause ones. Again, it talks about the comparison between the two. It gives you an idea of some comparison points and how you could write about comparison, or how you could write when comparing texts, use this sort of language. So you've got 3 cause sentences here. You've got 4 response sentences here. So again, it gives you some language of how you could write about responses. And then here, consequence. Here's some consequence sentences. So I'm hoping that this gives you an idea of how to go forward and how to talk and how to use the documents and how to use these kind of approaches to formulating your responses. But that's all for now. Thank you very much.